All right, so we're going to continue multiplying in assignment number 5. We're going to be multiplying binomials, but specifically we're going to be squaring binomials, and we're going to be multiplying what are called conjugates together. So we're going to learn what those are. Not a lot that's new in this lesson, so I think you'll like it, as far as not a whole lot to grasp on top of what we already know. Let's go ahead and get started with number 1 here. We have x plus 3 squared, and I'm going to draw a picture of what's going on in here first. If I have an x and a 3 here and an x and a 3 here, when I multiply them together, that's the same thing as finding the area of something. So we've done problems like this before. To find the area of this square here, I'm going to take x times x, that's x squared. To find the area of this square, I have this side, which is 3, and this side, which is x. So 3 times x is 3x. If I find the area of this rectangle here, again, this is x and this is 3. So when I multiply those together, it's another 3x. And then the final square here, 3 times 3 is 9. So here I get the same thing. And so I'm going to have the x squared. I'm going to have 3x plus 3x, which is 6x's. And I'm going to have the 9. So when I square x plus 3 squared, this is what I get. And what's interesting here, or what you'll find, is when you're squaring something, these two numbers will always be the same, and you'll always add them together. So we could do this without the picture. Also, we can go x plus 3 and square it. What a lot of people want to do is they'll just want to write it as x squared plus 9. But it's not x squared plus 9. X plus 3 squared means that we're going to have two x plus 3's. And so just like we have done in the past, we're going to FOIL these together. We're going to take x times x is x squared. X times 3 is 3x. So there you can see one of our 3x's. And then the inside terms, 3 times x is 3x. And my last terms, 3 times 3 is 9. And if I combine like terms, I get x squared plus 3x is 6x plus 9. And so that's what we're going to be doing when we square these binomials. I want you to go ahead and try these two on your own. Pause the video and then you can restart the video and see if you get them correct. So this is number 2. I'm going to take 3x plus 7 times itself, which is 3x plus 7. So to do that, I'm going to take 3x times 3x is 9x squared. 3 times 3 is 9. X times x is x squared. 3x times 7, well, the 3 times the 7 is 21, and then I have the x. When I multiply these terms together, that's a 7 times the 3. There's another 21x. And 7 times 7 is 49. So you can see these two inside terms are the exact same, and that's the way it'll always be when you're taking a binomial and squaring it. So we're going to end up with 9x squared plus 21, and 21 is 42x plus 49. And then if we move over and take a look at number 3, it's the same thing. That means we're going to have to take 5x minus 2 times itself, which is 5x minus 2. So here you want to watch your signs. 5x times 5x is 25x squared. 5x times negative 2 is negative 10x. Negative 2 times 5x is another negative 10x, and negative 2 times negative 2 is a positive 4. So when I combine my like terms, I'll have 25x squared minus 10x, and minus 10x is minus 20x plus 4. And that's what we have for number 3. So that's half of this assignment, squaring binomials. Let's go ahead and take a look at multiplying conjugates together. A conjugate is a binomial that looks like two binomials that look like they're the same thing, except the sign is different. So we have a 3x plus 9 and a 3x minus 9. We're going to use conjugates later on in this unit for several things, but one special thing that I want you to know when you get the product of these binomials. And so let's go ahead and multiply this together and see what it is that happens here. We're going to start by taking 3x times 3x, which is 9x squared. 3x times negative 9x is negative 27x. When I multiply my inside terms, it'll be a 9 times 3, which is a positive 27x. and 9 times negative 9 is negative 81. I want you to look here. We have a negative 27x and a positive 27x. When I add those together, it's just like when we did elimination, we were solving systems. Those are opposites of each other. Those are going to cancel each other out. And I'm just going to end up with 9x squared minus 81. So when we multiply conjugates together, what's special about the product is that the middle terms will always cancel themselves out. Now, that's not when you're squaring a binomial. That only happens when you multiply two conjugates together. I want you to take a look at these two conjugates, pause the video, and then restart the video and see if you get them correct. Hopefully you've done that. Here is what you should have had for number 5. We're going to have x times x is x squared. X times negative 8 is negative 8x. Positive 8 times x is 8x. Positive 8 times negative 8 is negative 64. My middle terms will cancel themselves out, and I'll have x squared minus 64. In number 6, I'll do the same process. 7x times 7x is 49x squared. 7x times 4, well, that's 28x. Then negative 4 times 7x is negative 28x. And negative 4 times positive 4 is negative 16. So when I combine like terms, a negative 28x and a positive 28x, those cancel each other out. And my final answer is going to be 49x squared minus 16. That's what we're going to be working on our homework assignment for tonight. And we'll do that and go over questions that you have tomorrow in class.